welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. Today's video is a topic that I have wanted to talk about for quite a while because I get a lot of questions about it, and also it's something that I've struggled with in the past and still struggle with from time to time. I'm sure there's times where you haven't felt very confident or you haven't felt your best, and I think everyone can relate when I say the confidence definitely comes with practice. It's not just something that you have or you don't. It's something that you practice and you work on, and it grows over time. Confidence is so broad and it's really hard to pinpoint exactly how people become confident. Confidence looks different for everyone. Some people feel confident when they go to the gym and eat healthy. Some people feel confident wearing makeup and buying nice clothes. Some people feel confident getting cosmetic procedures done. Some people feel confident when they're making a lot of money. These are all external factors of confidence, and I feel like sometimes we forget about internal confidence, and it's a lot harder to come by, and I feel like it's so much more important than any external success or beauty. It's where true confidence and true self-assurance comes from. And of course, I know we all want to look in the mirror and love what we see and be happy with our appearance and be happy with how we look, and that's something that I've really struggled with in the past. I used to think I was the ugliest person in the world. I absolutely hated how I looked. I would look in the mirror and literally pick apart everything about myself. I compared myself to absolutely everybody, and I only ever saw my own insecurities. I was so unhappy with myself, and I wasn't seeing all the beautiful things about myself. And now, at the age of almost 25, I can hand on my heart say that I love how I look, but honestly that's not really important to me anymore at all. And it's only when I started working internally that I found this true happiness within myself, internally and also externally. I find when we look to our appearance for confidence, self-worth, self-love, we'll never be happy. Because yes, you can work out and be healthier and develop a good skincare routine and look after your hair and get cosmetic surgery, and you can tweak things about your appearance, but you can't really change it, so you're kind of stuck with how you look. So I had to learn internal confidence, and that's what I want to talk about today. So I have a few tips, and hopefully they help you coming into the new year to be your most confident self. The first thing I want to talk about is, of course, social media. Social media is linked to so many people's self-worth, and it's funny, as an online content creator, I absolutely hate social media. Like, I just don't like it. I don't like scrolling. I do like TikTok and YouTube, I'll just say that, because I feel like they're different, but Instagram is honestly a nightmare. It is literally destroying young people's perception of beauty and of themselves. I know that I have found myself scrolling through Instagram even now and still comparing myself. I have to remind myself that it's just social media, it's for fun, it's not to be taken seriously, and a lot of it isn't as it seems. So I think being aware of your scrolling time is really important, especially on apps like Instagram. I find in the past year or so I've caught myself comparing myself to other creators online, their growth, their opportunities, and comparison will literally destroy your self-worth and your belief in yourself. I have found that I've been like, oh, like, why am I not good enough for that opportunity, or why am I not good enough to be doing that, even though I know I am. It's just different circumstances. When we compare ourselves to other people, we focus so much on our weaknesses and we completely ignore our strengths. We all have our own abilities. We're not going to be amazing at everything, and I think that being gentle with yourself and reminding yourself of that is so important for your self-worth and your confidence. If you focus on the things that you're bad at, you're never gonna feel good at anything, because it's easier to focus on negative things. If you think about it, when you're having a negative thought, it's all consuming, whereas when you have a positive thought, it kind of just passes by and you don't really think about it. When you compare yourself to others, you're just stripping away your confidence and nobody is any better off. I think it's really important to be mindful of comparison. Yes, this person is doing amazing at that, but you're doing amazing at X, Y, and Z. I think comparison will always be there. I think a lot of us are just naturally competitive, but it's just important to, when you're admiring someone else's achievements, don't forget about your own strengths. Which brings me on to my next point, and that is putting in the work. Confidence just doesn't come overnight. You don't just stop comparing yourself to other people one day and feel like you're the best person in the world. It takes a lot of time, and it takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of patience. I think as a society now, we want a quick fix. We want things instantly, and when it comes to inner work, we think it'll be easy because there's so many resources out there. There's so many how-tos and tips on how to become confident and how to feel good and how to get over a breakup, and you know, all these things. There's so many books, there's so many videos on all of these topics. You can read every book and watch every video and read every article on any of these topics, but it can only come from within. It's a choice every day to wake up and remind yourself of your amazing qualities and live like that. Which brings me on to my next point, and that is loving yourself. When I was a teenager and I used to like be googling how to become confident, and they'd say things like love yourself, I'd be like, how the hell do you love yourself? How am I supposed to love myself when I don't feel confident? And how am I supposed to feel confident if I don't love myself? But now, knowing what I know, loving yourself is such an important aspect of confidence. Anytime I felt unhappy with myself, insecure, unworthy, I found myself to not look after myself. It's obviously linked with the unworthiness. When I've struggled with self-worth, I've also struggled with self-care and self-love, which makes sense. And now I'm aware of that, and when I start to feel bad about myself, or I'm struggling with confidence or self-worth or how I'm feeling about myself, then that's exactly the time that I really need to nourish myself, and I really need to look after myself. You can't feel good about yourself and your abilities if you aren't looking after yourself, and it's these simple things that really matter. My next point is something that I am still actively working on, and I'm still finding it hard to overcome, but it is a key for me anyway when it comes to confidence, and that is forgiveness and acceptance. I know I'm really hard on myself when it comes to the choices and mistakes I've made in the past. I hyper fixate on them, and sometimes it literally keeps me up at night, and I find myself still journaling about things that have happened 6, 7, 8 years ago, and I still feel the same way I felt at that time, and I find it really hard to overcome. And I spoke to my therapist about this because it's something that I feel is really holding me back, and she told me that I need to forgive myself. And when she said that, I was kind of like, okay, I forgive myself. But as the weeks passed and the months passed, I still felt the same way. Forgiveness is really hard, and it's actually so much easier to forgive anyone else in the world, but it's super hard to actually forgive yourself. And when we can't forgive ourselves, we hold on to hurt and shame and guilt, and of course that is going to diminish your self-worth, which is going to diminish your confidence. I have been working really hard on trying to figure out how exactly to forgive yourself, and what I've learned from forgiving yourself is that it's all about understanding why you've done certain things and how you were feeling at that time and where you were emotionally. Something that I like to remind myself of is hurt people, and I know that when I've caused hurt in the past, I have been really unhappy within myself, and I haven't been able to like deal with my emotions and how I was feeling, and I obviously took that out on others. And it's really important to understand where your head was at the time and accept that you aren't the same person anymore. You've changed and you've grown. Everybody makes mistakes, and you've forgiven others in the past for mistakes. So why wouldn't you be able to forgive yourself? And my last point is something that I've also learned recently, and that is stepping out of your comfort zone. And I want to talk about this again because it's something that I feel like I've just completely ignored for flipping years, but now I'm like, how did I not acknowledge it before? Stepping out of your comfort zone is literally the key to self-confidence. When you can prove to yourself that you can do something that makes you scared, makes you nervous, makes you anxious, makes you uncomfortable, that is just an instant boost of belief in yourself. It's impossible to grow in your comfort zone. Every single time you do something that makes you uncomfortable, you have the chance to grow. And I think there's something amazing about doing something out of your comfort zone and knowing that there's a chance that you can fail, and knowing that there's a chance that you're going to be disappointed, and knowing that there are people that are probably going to judge you, and people who are probably going to be thinking, who the hell does she think she is? Which reminds me of the quote, confidence is not, I know they'll like me, it's I'm okay if they don't. And I just love that. Every single time you take a risk and you do something different, you're gonna grow. And every time you do something that makes you not confident is exactly the time that your confidence will grow. Confidence is not knowing that you're going to be able to do something and knowing that you're going to be able to succeed. It's not certain. It's knowing that whether you fail or not, you're still going to love yourself, and you're still going to be happy with yourself, and you're still going to be proud of yourself. And it's such a great feeling to get to that point, because now I know that no matter what, I'm going to be happy and I love myself either way. And I hope that this advice can help you in some way to grow your confidence and help you to realize that no matter what, you have great qualities and you have strengths and you have the ability to do the things that you want to do. You just have to overcome the fear and the insecurity and the doubt, and when you're happy within and you're thriving internally, that shines through and people will see that, and you'll see it in yourself as well. When you're 80 years old, you're not going to care what you looked like when you were 20, 30, 40, 50. You're going to care about the person you were and the things that you did. I could honestly talk about this for so much longer, and I hope to do a newsletter on this topic in the new year. So I'll leave the link to subscribe to my newsletter below as always. And I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Let me know your thoughts on confidence, internal, external, if you have any advice for others. And I hope this helped in some way. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!